back with Jevon Barnes, and probably the most incredible story we've heard on Barstools and Bandtalk and our just shy of 2-year plan. And thanks so much for coming on the show, Jevon. I mean, and I guess before the break, we are kind of tying into how you met Jamie, but let's talk about Noble Poets. Let's talk about, what you've been doing, where folks can hear about you, and what your plans are for 2022.
Yeah, so we dropped the album, Beautiful. It's called The Beautiful Flaw. Okay. And what's cool is the album cover, I'm releasing it to you guys first, letting you guys know, but not very many people know about this, but the album cover is a picture of me at 18 months drinking a tall can. And the irony of it is that that's when my addiction started, right? Drinking alcohol at 18 months. You know what I mean? And I was literally just sucking down a tall can. And then by the time I had another beer, which was down the line a bit, it just brought me back to the same place probably that I was at 18 months. And that's where I started to realize, like, look, I was addicted from being really, really little, So The Beautiful Flaw, the reason why it's called that is because babies are beautiful, but I was really flawed. So the album covers of that. The album was mastered and done this February that just passed. So we've had it, and we dropped on November 6th of this year. We released the first single off the album, which is called Never Fit In. And the video and the single released the same day. Depending on what Jamie and Zach want to do, we release Humpty Dumpty, which is the second single off the album, which comes out January 7th. I'm not sure if we're going to release the video the same day or if it'll be 2 weeks after. I'm not sure what Zach and Jamie want to do with that, but we'll be done filming this Sunday. We have Friday and Sunday, and then we're done filming Humpty Dumpty. We have two more singles off the album with videos that will come out prior to the full album releasing, and then by summer we'll have the full album, The Beautiful Flaw, released. So nice. The music is really about the story that we just went through here on Barstools and Bandtalk. So, but it takes it into a deeper level, and obviously it does fit in the hip hop genre, but when people go and they listen to it, they'll be able to tell that it doesn't have that feel that the hip hop out there right now has. We're not talking about the same thing. Our music sounds completely different. It's got a lot of music composition that's actually in it, because I went to composition school. So we're not just making a beat and playing it on loop. We actually have breakdowns and key changes, and in my personal opinion, it's actually it's real music. So yeah. And it's got a real story that's attached to it that I already know, because I'm watching what's happening. It's transcending genre. I'm getting people from all over the world based on the Never Fit In single. I mean, from other countries. I had a 65-year-old lady reach out to me and say, I don't even like hip hop, but I've never heard nothing like this before, and I've never seen a video like this before. Like, thank you so much for putting this out there. It's pushing on awareness is what it's doing. Right. Awareness of trauma and sobriety and stuff like that. So,
well, I mean, the first couple of segments, I'm sitting here going, this is like reading the Heroin Diaries. We talked about Nikki Sixx. I mean, yeah. And I'm going to guess that the tunes are very similar to that. I get it at 6 a.m. based upon that book, and Nikki's just one of those guys. But talk to us a little bit about. I mean, were you maybe concerned that you were going to unload everything on the first record and go, okay, where do I go now?
No, just because of the amount of composition books that like I said, I've got a couple hundred around. I haven't counted them, but I mean, stacks and stacks and stacks of lyrics. There's a whole journey that starts with life once you get sober. Every day is one day at a time, but that doesn't mean that all of your problems just go away. Mm-hmm. I had major withdrawals, man. It wasn't withdrawals off drugs. It was withdrawals off money. That's where my withdrawals were off of. My withdrawals were off control. My withdrawals were off power. My withdrawals were off influence. that was way more important to me than the drugs. Once I started to identify my brokenness and I started to get trauma therapy, I have a counselor here by the name of Danny Martinez, one of the most ingenious people that I've ever met in my life. And he was able to take me through the annals inside of my heart and connect with the things that happened and reconcile those things. That we got so much content for, what's on the other side of sobriety? What's on the other side of all this, right? There's a whole journey of life that I haven't even began to touch on. And I did that on purpose. I built a crescendo. You guys being musicians, you know exactly what a crescendo is. I built a crescendo with this record, right? I'm no longer living in that place where I was. All this stuff in this record that I wrote, this is 15 years past tense. This is me going back to that place and going through all my journals and all my diaries and creating this record. And now the last 2 songs on the album, you can start to see how there's a shift that happens, right? So in the first record, I'm going through the trauma, the abuse, the addiction. But then on the other side of that, I was still walking through battling mentally, battling to stay sober, battling to continue to contend for my own internal health and wellness, right? That's why they say it's one day at a time.
Sure.
So,
just to lighten it up a bit, Jevon, can you spell crescendo so Dave can Google it as we go on to the next question?
Can I spell it?
Dave can Google it.
Let me see.
I'm a speller. Here's what I want to ask.
I love
Yeah, it was funny, brother. I told you.
Yeah, you are funny.
Here's what I want to know. Jevon, like I said, I think, like I'm seriously touched by your story, brother. I really am. And I'm just wondering, I don't think you can ever stop, because based on what you're telling me, I think, just as me asking straight up, are you healing through all this?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like I said, we're on 17 years with no drugs, 15 years with no alcohol. And what I've seen with a lot of people, they have the term, dry alcoholic. That's not my deal. My deal is, I look at my life and everything that I've been blessed with. My children, like my son came to me the other day. If you guys have a chance and you watch the video, that's my son playing me in the video. Okay. He's playing me as a kid. He had no acting experience. And this boy came in and he lit up the field. He's the star of the show. And he came to me afterward and he was like, "Dad, I'm so sorry that you had to walk through this stuff, but I'm so thankful you've never done a single thing like that ever to me. Like, you are the best dad." And so when you can take it all from me right now. I could die tomorrow with my son telling me that, because I never got that. I never felt safe. I never felt loved. And my son is my daughters too, but that's my boy, right? I have one boy, and he's essentially he's my legacy, right? Like, he's going to carry my name. And knowing that I broke the generational cycle, I broke the trauma, it's not getting passed on to my son. That's the biggest blessing and the biggest miracle that you could ever ask for. Right. So, him playing me, he was just like, I can't believe that this man did these things. He doesn't know his grandfather. And he goes, I can't believe that he did these things to you. Like, and my son got a real life experience of my life, what it looked like. And he was just, couldn't believe it. He's 10 years old and he's still, it's funny because the other day he goes, I'm going to pick him up from school and all these kids are rallying around him. I know, like, that's Dirty White right there. He's picking up Nolan. And I go, Nolan, are you like famous at school or something, bro? He's like, Dad, the whole school's seen the video. So,
well, listen, I tell you what, Jevon, I told you my older son's into your genre of music, and we went through McDonald's drive-through, 6-8 months ago, and they knew him and not me. And it was at first I was a little consulted, but then I'm like, that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like, they knew who he was, right?
Yeah, it's really cool. That's anyways, to tap into that, I could, we could talk for hours on how blessed I am, how much abundance that I've been given. And what I realized is that none of it is monetary. Like, my children have a sober dad. You know, I've got really, really solid people that are in my life that I have really good relationship with, that trust me and I trust them. Like, I realized that in my old life, I had 100 people under me and around me at all times, but they were all gone the day that my friend got shot in the head and almost got murdered. I only heard from one person over the last 20 years, and he stayed that one person. He's the only one that stuck with me. And these people were making so much money working with me. They were, I mean, abundantly wealthy because of me. And one thing happened, they all scattered like ants under a magnifying glass. So to have solid connection with people that dearly love me, that I can do life with, that I will lay my life down for, and they'll lay their life down for me. You know, and I've also been given abundance monetarily. Like, you know, my mortgage branch was top 5 in the country for a $2 billion a year funding bank. And I've got an amazing team that, it's funny thing, I took the drug game and I took it into the mortgage game, because you're on the phone. That's what you're doing. You're selling something. The only difference is that I'm helping people buy a home. And I do it very ethically with integrity. I don't lie for money. I don't have to, I just get to be myself. And that's love people really well and be super honest and diligent. Like, I've got a rule: you never lie to a client, and you don't have to worry about what you say.
Amen, brother.
Like, if you don't lie to people, you don't got to think about what you said, because you know you always told the truth. So what's the point of lying, right? Amen. So, you know, to have all this and to be talking with you guys, honestly, like, I shouldn't be alive, but I am. And this music, like, I really sincerely pray and hope that it transcends genre. I hope somebody like Nikki Sixx gets to hear what we're doing, and it's like, wow, like, listen to that story. You know what I mean? It's like, that's really what this is about. It's about the nuts and bolts of walking through the hardest place of adversity that a human could walk through, and coming out on the other side, not undamaged, but coming out on the other side saying, look, man, I'm still standing, and I'm better now because of it.
You're gonna have scars. You should wear those scars proudly, brother. That's the way that's gonna work. Jeez, I mean,
right. I'm not trying to cover mine up. There's no makeup.
I hear you, bro.
All right, let's. Oh, geez. I feel like I'm gonna go through a therapy session myself. Where can people find Noble Poets?
You can go to noblepoets.com, which is our website. The video is on there. You can go to YouTube. Noble Poets never fit in. We have a Noble Poets channel. Instagram, Noble Poets Music. My personal Instagram is dirty_white. I try to be super responsive with people when they're, because some people are like, man, how'd you get through that? What can I do? Like, I'm responding. I don't leave people in the dark.
Right on.
You know what I mean? Like, if somebody's trying to reach out and saying, hey, how do I get sober? I'm going to be the first one to try to reach out and help. And it won't be somebody, it won't be my social media curator, right? It'll be me that's trying to actually connect with these people. So Noble Poets on Facebook as well. All those forums you can get, and we'll have, I do have a social media curator, so there'll be updates. We do at least a post or two a week, letting people know, hey, the next single's coming, next video's coming. We got a merch line that's coming. So my record label has got a really cool logo, which is, you know, it's a lion, because that's really what I am. So that's we're putting all the pieces are there, and now we're just moving, you know, one step in front of the other. But you know, the main thing is getting the music in people's hands, and hopefully that's pushing them to a place of internal awareness where, you know, they can reflect on, hey, you know, I'm struggling with this, and you know, that dude got on the other side. I can get on the other side. I can get on the other side too, you know.
Look, man, I want to thank you for this. And Dave, we're going to wrap, but if we could do something, just stop recording and keep Jevon on briefly. We're going to go offline for 2 seconds and bring Jamie in. Thanks so much for this. I got to tell you, this is, we've never 180 interviews in almost 20 months. Never had anything like this on the show.
Wow, that's
It's
cool.
been, I mean, time well spent. Phenomenal. And I'm happy as a pig, and to have gotten to spend a little bit of time with you,
Yeah.
and hopefully we can stay connected. Because I tell you,
man.
it's man, it's just I feel like I want to go out and run 5K right now. You know what I mean? Like,
I want to hug
I-
you. I'm a hugger. He's not.
Yeah, man. I'm a hugger too, just because human connection, is so important right now, and that's something that has kind of been taken away from humanity. So I try to hug as many people as I can, man. We're only here for a certain amount of time, and I want people to know that I loved well. So whatever that looks like, whether it be a handshake or a dinner or whatever it is, I'm big on.
Jamie did
connection.
not disappoint. She said you had a great story to tell, and brother, you told it very well. And we, I think, are probably are the benefactor of this whole meeting tonight. And I think a lot of our audience is going to really resonate with them too. I hope it does. And if maybe not them, maybe some that they know, and maybe they can get a little hope of this whole program tonight. So I appreciate it so much, man. Thank you so much for being on our show.
Absolutely. This is
Hey,
great.
thank you guys for having me.
All right, so
And,
we're not gone, but we're kind of gone. Okay.
Barstools